Hi, first graders. In today's video, we are going to review what odd and even numbers are, and then I'm going to show you an activity that will help you both practice your addition and subtraction with double-digit numbers, and it will help you with odd and even numbers. So let's take a look. Odd numbers are numbers that don't have partners. So the numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 are odd numbers because if I were to make them in groups or partners, they would not have a partner. So if I look at 1, there's no partner with 1. If I look at 3, these two have a partner, but that last one does not. So it is an odd number. 5, I can make these partners, but there's 1 left out. Same with 7. If I make them into groups, 1 is always left out. And 9, I can make partners with all of them, but one of them is left out. So it's an odd number when it's 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9, because if I make them partners, there's always one that's left out. There's an additional one. It can't be made into even groups of 2. So odd numbers mean they can't be put into partners of groups of 2. Even numbers then mean that if I were to draw a picture like this, then I would be able to make them have partners with no one left over. So 2, I can make a group of 2 and have no one left over. 4, I can make 2 groups. Same with 6 and 8 and 10. So all of these numbers are examples of even numbers because they can be made into groups of 2 or partners with none left over. Now, when I'm looking at odd and even numbers, it doesn't have to just be these numbers 1 through 10. It can be any number all the way up. So if I have, for example, the number 24, 24 has a 4 in the ones place. I know that 4 is an even number. So if I were to write out 24 dots, I could make even pairs because my ones are going to all have partners. And I know that 10 is automatically a even number as well. So when I'm looking at double digit numbers, I can look just at the ones place as kind of a shortcut to know if my ones place is an even number, then the whole number is an even number. So another example of that might be 96. So all I have to do is look at the ones place, and the ones place is a 6. I know that 6 can be divided into groups of 2 evenly, so 96 is going to be an even number, even though 9 is not. But it's not 9, it's 90. And we know that groups of 10 are going to be evenly divided or even numbers. So if it ends in an even number, it's going to be even. If the ones place is an even number, it's an even number. If it ends or has a 1 in the single digits or the ones place, if that's an odd number, then the whole number is going to be an odd number as well. So if I did 85, 85 is going to be an odd number because 5 in the ones place is an odd number. So another example might be 43. Again, looking at the ones place, 3 is an odd number, so 43 is going to be an odd number. Your job today to show your understanding of even and odd numbers is you are going to get a paper that looks like this. You're going to make a flip book, and you're also going to have a page with some subtraction sentences on them. So in order to make your flip book, before you even worry about these, what I want you to do is take this and you're going to cut just along the dotted line. You leave this big line, just cut along the dotted line. So then your paper should look like this. It should have 2 flaps. I want you to go get your materials now and take just that step. So pause the video and make your flap just like this up the dotted line. When you finish that, you can press play again. Now that you have yours matching mine, I'm going to have you fold it so that it will make a book. So next, you're going to take your flaps and you're going to fold them down. You'll notice that there's this black line here. You're going to fold them down and crease them like this so that you have a little book. That way, if I open it up, I have a space for odd ones and I have a space for even ones. Again, pause your video and make this far. Once you have it like this, then you can press play again. Now that you have your book started, I want you to do one more piece so that you can remember which ones are odds and which ones are evens. You're going to take your pencil and you're going to write what numbers might be in the ones place if they are even. So the numbers that would be even, remember, are going to be if it ends in a 0, a 2, a 4, a 6, or an 8. So if your ones place is one of those numbers, then it's going to be an even number. Then on your odds, I want you to write the numbers in the ones place you would look for if it's an odd number. So that would be 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Again, pause the video so that you have yours like this, and then press play when you're ready to move on. Now that you have that, what you are going to do is you're going to take your paper with your equations on them, your subtraction sentences, and you are going to solve them. So you can use whatever strategy works best for you to solve, and you're going to write them in the boxes. So I started a couple, and I wrote the difference at the bottom. Remember, it can go up and down, or it can go across. Either way, you can still solve it. So I have my differences here, and I'm going to continue and fill in the differences or the answers at the bottom. Once I have completed all of them and solved all of them, I'm going to cut them out into individual sentences. When I have this, then I'm going to look at the number at the bottom. So this one is 83 minus 10 is 73, and I'm going to determine if it is an even number or if it is an odd number. So remember, even means it can be split into groups where there's a pair and there's nothing left over. So the ones place would be 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0 because it would be a multiple of 10. And if it's an odd number, then it in the ones place would be 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. So looking at this one, if I look at the ones place has a 3. So I know that this is an odd number. I'm going to take my notebook or my flip book. I'm going to open up the odd flap and I will glue it down. So I'll take my glue. I'll put it on the back and making sure I get the corners. And then I will glue it on the odd flap so that it sticks there. So if I have odd, I flip it up and I should have one of my differences that's odd. I'll look at my next one and I have 37 minus 11 is 26. So I already did a strategy, I figured it out, and I'm going to look at the ones place. The ones place is a 6. I remember that 6 can be put into groups of 2 without any left over, so that would be an even number. So I'm going to glue it under the even side. So I'll lift up even. I'll put some glue on my little piece, and I will glue it in. I would continue with all of my pieces until all of them are even on the even or the odd side. So if I fill up the top, I can go down to the bottom and fill those in. I want to make sure that my name is on the bottom. You can put the date if you would like, and your magic number is always helpful as well for when we pass them back, and this goes in the turn-in bin. So this will give you some practice with doing your subtraction and looking at even numbers. If you need more instruction on even and odd numbers, then go back to the Google Classroom page and look at some more of those videos with examples of odd and even numbers.